So you know that pretty viral audio where that Five Nights at Freddy's character sings about being in your head?
I'm Nightmare Freddy and I'm in your head.
Well, that's not the only one, because there's a whole trend online where FNAF animatronics will sing and rap to their possessed heart's content in the form of a duet, duetting that rapper bacc on his song. And while not every TikTok in this trend actually shows bacc, they all feature the beat of his song. I've already made a video tier listing a good chunk of these verses, and at the time of writing, that video has become easily my most viewed, so I thought that was as good a reason as any to make one of my most heavily requested videos, and tier list some more animatronic verses. Most of these verses, though not all of them, are from one creator called bugdroidcell, who's absolutely the GOAT of this FNAF trend. I tried my best to talk about almost every verse that you guys requested of me, but if I included absolutely all of them, this video would be going on forever. So these are primarily the verses that I thought were worth reacting to and ranking. Maybe your favourite duet didn't make the cut, maybe a verse you really like I didn't place particularly highly, but that's because it's my video, alright? It's mine. I'll be going roughly in order of when each animatronic that drops a verse originally debuted in the series, and I do want to point out that, as with my previous video, none of these verses are bad. There are ones I like more than others, of course, but as you can tell from today's tier list, even my least favourite tier is just not for me. I wouldn't call it bad as such, so well done FNAF fans. Anyway, for the second time, let's start the video.
You're insane, you're in pain, I can tell by what you're saying, but...
You take something old and make it brand new, but what do you do with what?
Off to a great start with the withered animatronics from FNAF 2. Well, most of them. I like the writing of this song, basically turning the very evocative FNAF 2 teasers into lyrics, which somehow flow together really well, especially grand reopening.
Grab your mic and sing for this grand reopening.
In my original verse ranking video, some of the comments didn't particularly like that I was critical of how some of the animatronic voices sounded while delivering their verses, despite those voices actually sounding very similar to how they do in game, and I do get where those comments are coming from. But what I would say is that despite mechanical broken vocal effects working well for voice lines, that doesn't mean those vocal effects necessarily translate well into songs. And this is why I think this verse actually works really well. Listening to Withered Bonnie's voice lines from the games, you'd think that they really wouldn't fit well in a melodic song.
What is this new prison? Is it me trapped or is it you?
But bugdroidcell has taken some really creative license and toned down Bonnie's robotic glitchiness just enough, and the verse is all the better for it.
Throw it in the back room, don't let anyone know where.
That's what makes great sounding FNAF vocals in my opinion. Inspired by canon, but still able to take creative liberties if it makes for a more enjoyable listen.
There ain't no place to run, and exactly one place to hide. Better flash your light.
Anyway, this is really good. Let's move on.
I've got balloons just for you.
I weirdly kind of love Balloon Boy for being this stupid little creature, and this verse captures that perfectly. I think the verse devolving into talking about pooping is very fitting.
Let me in your office, let me do.
I know none of the animatronics can poop, but if any of them were to poop, it'd be Balloon Boy.
I gotta poop, I'm Balloon Boy. I gotta poop in your...
I don't have much else to say other than it's bad on purpose and funny, and that's the tier it's going in. I fill her up! Balloons! And if you want to fill me up with ideas, leave a comment letting me know what video I should make next. I've made a pretty big variety of videos, but it's actually the ones that a comment suggests I do that become the most popular, so let me know. And maybe I'll even do whatever the most popular comment is for my next video, within reason.
You're going crazy. What's your deal? We're not real.
Another FNAF 3/Springtrap verse from Bug Droid Cell, joining the other two I've already talked about last time. Today he's accompanied by 2 Phantom animatronics, surely pleasing the Phantom animatronic fans out there. What, there must be like 10 of you guys, right? I like this verse. I think it's very solid, and it's nice to give some more forgotten characters the spotlight for a bit. Springtrap is the most memorable part here, and I like that he's been given more of his trademark British accent.
You can run, you can hide, it just makes it satisfying.
However, in comparison to Bug Droid Cell's previous 2 Springtrap verses, it's not as smooth as the first one,
You are walking graveyard trying to make your greens.
or as funny as the second.
I stab, and it's nice.
So it's probably my least favourite Bug Droid Cell Springtrap verse so far.
When I catch you in my hands and hear you crying.
The Phantom's additions are very serviceable, if not particularly standout. I do like that Foxy's "Yahahar" has basically become his signature ad-lib though at this point.
Survive the night.
From past experience, my audience don't love it when I put a verse containing Foxy in the solid tier. And hey, Foxy's my favourite possessed murder machine too, but solid's good. As I've said before, none of these verses are strictly bad, and that is very much true here as well. Actually, why don't we read a comment from a Foxy fan and see what they have to say about my thoughts on one of his verses from the last video. If I hear one more time someone say, "Oh, it's weird because they are kids," I will kill someone. We are talking about the characters here, not the kids, you jackass. But I will say, I don't like the line "mean" because it feels like he's going to grape her. Well, that profile picture of a cute dog was misleading.
I can tell by what you're saying, but
Look, can the creator of this verse do some genuinely impressive vocal manipulation? Yes. I couldn't do those crazy vocals. So he definitely has some talent, but I've got to be honest, it's just not for me. I'm not one for tortured screamo vocals like this. And if you are, then I'm sure you'll get a lot out of this verse. But this is my video, and I just don't. I like the line about a double locked box at the end. And of all the FNAF animatronics to do screamo, Nightmare is a very fitting choice, but I gotta place it low down. My previous tier list video had some comments saying that I was taking this whole thing too seriously, implying that I should give every verse a bit of a pass because they're just singing animatronic TikToks. You know, they're just meant to be silly memes and jokes. And I don't agree with that. Close your eyes for me and think of something you find really unfunny right now, whether that be a meme or a joke or a TV show or a film that to you is like the least funny thing in the world. Now imagine if someone said that you actually shouldn't dislike it because, you know, come on man, it's just a joke. You'd feel like they're not really getting the point, right? So you see what I'm saying here. It would be a sad world if we couldn't be constructively critical. Plus, it would make for a very boring tier list video if I just gave everything a pass and put it all in the top tier. I realise this verse isn't trying to be very jokey, and that's completely fine. But because of the abrasive screamo vocals, I'm putting it in the not for me tier.
Our world of color and joy is in a glitchy mess.
FNAF World. I honestly forgot this game even existed, so you can imagine my surprise when I realised that one of the most random FNAF games has one of the best verses. I think building a verse off a game that has a huge cast of characters is great for someone with the vocal talents of Bug Droid Cell, because it gives him the opportunity to show off his versatility.
Pizza wheel,
Bass jam,
unscrew them, then again.
Then we hit him with the hook and now we're leveling up.
With a whole host of different animatronics. I think the verse is paced well with the intro from Fredbear.
It's up to you and your boys to help it all turn back.
Before the ensemble cast goes bar to bar with each other. The ending of this song is already fire with escape key, I beam, hack cheese.
Kiki.
I be hot cheese.
But then Balloon Boy comes in and hits some insane notes at the end. It's amazing.
Now it's our time.
time to bite.
In the dark.
Here's the light.
I mean, if I just praised the previous FNAF World verse for including a whole host of characters, then you'd think I'd do it again for Ultimate Custom Night, right? Well, You'd be absolutely correct. It's cool that voices that I don't particularly like in the context of a full verse, like Funtime Foxy, actually jump in and end up improving this verse, because they drop like a one-liner then dip.
Time to put an end to your show. Encore!
And that adds just a bit of funtime flavour without being too overpowering, like I found the Sister Location song to be. It's perhaps a bit confusing that Springtrap, aka William Afton,
Your ever-living mind.
and Scraptrap, also aka William Afton,
Start it all again.
are singing to William Afton, but that's more of a question I have with the UCN game, if anything. This comes in just a bit lower than FNAF World for me, because Escape Key, I-Beam, Hack Cheese, Munchies is just too far of a finishing line from FNAF World. By the way, links to all the verses can be found in the description of this video. I have of course listened to the entirety of every verse multiple times, but I'm not going to play the full thing, like I know some of you want me to, because honestly that would end up getting irritating, it would mess with the rhythm of the video, and I don't want to plagiarize people's entire TikToks. So look in the description for the full thing.
Once upon a time there was a gator playing golf till he saw a little bunny who was hopping while he rocked.
For not the last time today, it's Monty time. I like that this is a verse within the framing device of a children's book. I really wouldn't be surprised if the Fazbear Company has made children's books based off its mascots in universe, so I like this verse's extra wrinkle. Honestly though, Bug Droid Cell could be saying just about anything when he hits those smooth legato notes.
Rock and roll on Gator Golf, Montgomery, going to the top.
Regardless of the lyrics, they just hit every time. This verse is very solid, but there's actually not that much about it that makes it super memorable. Like, yes, Monty did hit that note really well,
Rock and roll.
but in my opinion, Balloon Boy did it to a more memorable extent in the FNAF World verse. I'm not sure if Bug Droid Cell intends to make another This Is FNAF, which if you don't know was a combination of his verses from the FNAF 1-6 saga that he then released as an official song. But if he does make a This Is FNAF 2 and includes verses from Security Breach and beyond, this very solid verse would be a great addition. This is a very special verse to me. I really don't know quite what to make of it. The vocal effects sound like someone with a very blocked nose has just discovered auto-tune for the first time. I think my favourite part is that during the very last line, which is the climax of the verse, and arguably the most important part, the rhyme scheme just completely gives up. It's underwhelming, but like, in a funny way. I think the fact that it's just so weird makes me like it all the more. It's definitely funny, but I don't think it's bad on purpose. So it can't really go in that tier, and it definitely is for me, so it can't go in that tier, the one below. So I think I'm just gonna have to make a Roxanne Wolf exclusive tier, because I just can't help but love it.
And come play my Gator Golf.
Next up, so-called filler characters from Bug Droid Cell. This compilation consists of quick verses from Monty, Shadow Freddy, Toy Bonnie, the Security Breach Elevator, the Bite of 83, and Monty again. I actually covered Shadow Freddy on his own in my previous video, so I won't do him again, and I'll do the rest of the verses in a bit of a lightning round. First up, Monty.
Montgomery Gator, come and play my golf. Play my frickin' golf. I love playing golf.
I have a feeling he wants us to play his golf. Oh, and quickly kill Bonnie as well.
Rock and roll, play my golf. Kill Bonnie, then play some golf.
I like this. If I were just ranking this verse, it would be solid, but we've also got
I'm Toy Bonnie.
much like the real Toy Bonnie, this one is quite annoying.
I'm Toy Bonnie. I'm Toy Bonnie.
So I probably put it in the not for me tier. So on average, the filler characters are just hovering around the bad on purpose tier at the moment. Let's hear what's next. This works better than I thought it would, honestly. It's obviously not deep by any means, and purposefully low effort, so I put it in the bad on purpose tier. So, on average, that's where we're at, for the moment.
I'm Fred Bear, yeah, I'm Fred Bear.
I'm a spring bunny, oh yeah.
Maybe I'm deeping this one, but I like how goofy the animatronics are before we hear a screaming parent realizing that a kid's head has just been bitten.
I'm Oh my god! Oh my god! You just bit that kid's head!
It's a really cool and interesting juxtaposition that the whole series of kid mascots that kill you is kind of built around, and honestly it's really good. So on average, these filler characters have been brought up a bit into the solid tier thanks to that verse.
Or kill your freaking friend, Bonnie. Yeah. I'm recruiting. Way to kill Bonnie.
Monty, for the third and final time this video. This goes on for definitely a bit too long, and it kind of does away with the whole using Dax's beat trend, but the vocals are actually really impressive, perhaps even more so without a backing track.
I'm gonna murder stupid freaking Bonnie.
And it's really solid for sure. So this filler compilation, with a not for me verse, a bad on purpose verse, 2 solid verses, and a really good verse. On average, I think it's fair that it ends up as solid.
I'm Toy Freddy, specifically from the movie. Yeah!
A purposefully goofy verse over a purposefully goofy beat. Oh shit. I just realised that this is the only verse not to use the original Dax beat that all the others have been using. Oh well, I'm doing it now. Anyway, I do feel compelled to see the second FNAF movie now, to be honest. So, you know, it must have succeeded.
Buy your tickets for the Fazbear movie. True! It's fun for everyone.
It would be cool to have a Goofy Freddy song to advertise the movie, though it did make over $200 million, so I think they're doing fine. Anyway, this verse is funny and pretty clearly bad on purpose.
I'm Withered John.
Withered John. Who invited my man Blood? Bro think he on the team. Well, let's hear what he has to say.
You're insane. You're in pain. I can tell by what you're saying, but... I'm Withered John. I have a gun. And if I see you with my son, I am going to make you run.
John? Hello? John? Ooh. Okay, I think he needs to go to parts and service. You know what? I'm just gonna put John here.
I'm Skibbity Foxy, look at me, I'm so skibbity, I'm a pirate, yar.
I haven't thought about Skibbity Toilet in a long time, and now I have. I hope this one reminded you, kids in my audience, of your childhoods from 2 years ago. Nostalgic.
Starn, Romain Cosmic II. This is the last fucking straw. I can accept that you're not a huge fan of Foxy's vocal effects from the last video. I can accept that you don't like my screamo. But don't you ever besmirch the good fucking name of Skibbity fucking Toilet. You miserable, mewling, insignificant wretch. Never, and I mean never, show your stupid pink face in Utah, or I will slime you out. You will be eradicated, reduced to ash. I will put holes in you. You will be nothing but a mere memory by the time I've had my way with you. Nightmare. Out.
So, what did you think of this tier list? And would you order it any differently? Thank you very much for watching this video. And usually this is the part where I say that if you'd like to support me, you can like, subscribe, and /or buy me a coffee with the link in the description. You can of course still do all of that, but the best way to support me right now is to let me know what videos you'd like to see from me in the future. And remember, whatever the most liked suggestion is, within reason, I'll do it in my next video. Also, there is a link in the description where you can make your own tier list based off this template, if you're so inclined. Now, I've spent a lot of time today referencing the previous FNAF tier list video that I made, and I thought I'd close the book on that once and for all by reading just one more comment from that video. Are you gay? To answer that question to the best of my abilities, I'll actually need to channel my inner Withered John and